Yo, I will tell 4 stories in this song. Listen carefully. Sitting in the first class was the lad called Julian. He passed maths and put his hand up time and time again. Professor found him hard curse, although he was clever. Whatever he was executing, he thought he was better. Other children peeved him, they called him annoying. Leave them alone, he wouldn't, he was just too outgoing. He huffed, they were stupid, he always said you're wrong. He was excluded from the room for being so headstrong. In the playground, Damon asking Mr. Wolf, what's the time? If a kid has taken too few steps, he brings them down, oh the crime. He's spoiling their enjoyment by enforcing all the rules. A stickler, it fueled him, others thought he was a fool. Julian did not get on with peers, he thought they were dumb. Flaws fits his fella, no, he couldn't talk to anyone. He had no awareness, none of his own exterior. It was a lonely feeling for him being so superior. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 6 o'clock, dinner time. Michael was taught inside classroom number 2. He was a special child, everyone else except him knew. He didn't ever question why when he had moved digital. All the other students still used paper and a pencil, y'all. Break time when children were running from the wolf. He was by himself on the bench wandering by the walls with a book, cause he loved to peruse when they were all just talking. He was confused, realizing that they were all watching. They told Michael he was different, he hated the idea. They meant it as a compliment, it filled him with great fear. He behaved identically to his schoolmates. He believed in like minds, ethically he felt safe. Michael didn't party, wanted to, he didn't know why. Dressed smartly, smiling yo, but never got an invite. As he grew, he observed them all going to the prom. He knew he'd been reserved and wondered what he did so wrong. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 6 o'clock, dinner time. Jasmine was in trouble, she kept trying to fit in. Crumbling at break time, she was faking with her friends. She hid behind her makeup, Jazz was in class 3. She sat at the back not wanting to be seen, wanting to flee. Jasmine went to war every night with her identity. She called herself alien, felt like a separate entity. She was so upset that she was so opposed, pretended to everyone it was only she who knows. Jasmine tried to trick herself into being better, an actor she became if she asked about the weather. She felt disassociated from everybody else. She liked dudes and shoes, but she was hating on herself. She was talented actually, got excellent grades. She challenged none, was amicable and very well behaved. Wasn't chosen to be wolf, was crucified for being shy. What's wrong with me were her last words as she wept at night. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 6 o'clock, dinner time. Alice had a better story, class 4 was the place to be. Lexia, dyslexic, Jack was black, Eva 6'3", a dreamer Alice is. Matthew said her head's in the stars. Teacher said don't change, you will be valued as you are. Alice has some good ideas, listen, give her a chance. Ask for her opinion, get a different vision, circumstance. Won't get any bias, it will all be very logical. A very quiet person, but methodical and responsible. Did you know she likes rap? And isn't that cool? She was writing lyrics and her homes were playing wolf. In her spirits on her own, everyone liked her songs. And she was far from lonely, bro, she knew that she belonged. She had an extraordinary mind. She had dimensions, although it's exceptions who are inclined to depression. But her needs were addressed. She was invigorated, I know why I'm complicated. Instead she celebrated. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? What's the time,